Their First Date by CrackedInkWell. Read by The Bucket Bros. Part 4, 713.
I, for one, still can't believe you ate all that,
Octave commented. By now, he and Record had already left the Singing Cat, their stomachs full of desserts that they had consumed. The sky was now bright orange, lighting up the drifting clouds with a soft red glow. The sun hovered near the horizon as Solaris slowly lowered it, only to give way to Artemides' shining moon, the face of which was starting to become visible over the hills to the east. As the couple walked aimlessly, streetlights began to flicker to life.
What can I say?
Record shrugged with a satisfied smile.
They got really good cheesecake over there.
along with the pizza from dinner, the soda, and let's not forget the cup of coffee big enough for some pony to swim in.
Record laughed.
Oh, come on, Octi. I didn't down the whole thing.
Octave shook his head.
Even so, I think you've probably ate more in the past few hours than I've ever seen you eat at school for a week, including breakfast.
So, I like to eat. Who doesn't?
Well,
Octave, try as he might, couldn't think of an argument to that. He decided to shift the conversation's gears a little.
a change in subject then. Since your friend Cecil now knows about us, what do you think the school's going to say come Monday?
Why should you care?
Record asked.
They might say that we just went out.
But don't you see a problem with that? I mean, you saw Cecil's reaction to us. What's to keep a good chunk of the school from reacting the same way as he did, if not worse? I mean, my secret's officially out now, and I'm the one who dragged you into this. Don't you think we might be in danger from here on out?
What are you talking about?
Record shook his head. By now, the couple had stopped at a stone guardrail that overlooked the landscape below the mountain, west towards the setting sun.
It's not medieval times. Gay ponies aren't lynched anymore, or hunted down. I mean, the prince himself made it legal not only for ponies like you to get hitched, but even put in a Bill of Rights, too. So why are you worried that the school's gonna find out?
Octave rolled his eyes.
Record, has it ever occurred to you that just because a group has legal rights, it doesn't mean that every pony would change their minds overnight? I have learned from school, no matter how tolerant a place might be, there will always be ponies that would hold a grudge against you, simply because you're not them. Hate crimes still exist in Equestria, not just toward ponies like myself, but those from different races like zebras and griffins.
The cellist sighed as he leaned up against the wall.
In truth, what I'm really afraid of now is either of us ending up as victims, all because of me.
Okay, stop right there.
Record said sternly.
Dude, I am not gonna let any pony hurt you. And don't you dare think that I wouldn't.
The DJ trailed off suddenly. This caught the cellist completely by surprise.
You wouldn't what?
It's...
Record said, turning his eyes away from Octave, looking towards the sunset. In the light of the setting sun, Octave could see that his best friend was blushing.
It's nothing.
Yes, because it certainly sounds like nothing.
Octave said sarcastically, but Record didn't respond.
Look, you said I should be honest while we're on this date, so I think you ought to have that chance as well. I promise you, no matter what you say to me, I won't think any differently of you.
Fine.
Record mumbled.
Just don't think that I'm weird or anything.
Octave agreed.
Look, before your dad sent me that letter telling me that you're gay and secretly liked me, I never thought about going out with a dude. I just wanted a mare friend like every pony else. Trying to fit in, you know. I tried to find a nice mare, ask her out, and date for a little before either of us dumps the other. For a while, I thought if something was wrong with me, I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, that I couldn't hold down a relationship at all. Then I read the letter. To tell you the truth, Brony, at first, I wanted to turn the offer down.
What? Why?
Because I couldn't see myself dating dudes. At first, that is. After a while, I started to have weird thoughts about you. The thing is, I never thought about any other guy that way before. But with you, I don't know. It just seemed right. Octave, I really do want to see you happy. I do want to make you laugh and not be afraid of anything. I know this is weird coming from a guy like me, the idea of dating you, even if it's just this once. it makes sense to me.
For a long time, even after the sun had set and the moon was lifted above the horizon, Octave didn't know how to respond. On one hoof, this was something that he daydreamed about at times, his best friend admitting that he had feelings for him. Yet, on the other hoof, it brought up a question, something which he asked out loud.
Record, where do you want to go from here? I mean, do you still want to be my best friend, or what?
Record sighed.
I don't know, dude. I really don't want to lose you over this.
Why would you lose me? If anything, you agreeing to be my date is perhaps the kindest thing you've ever done for me. For that, I'll be eternally grateful because of you.
Octave paused for a moment before asking,
Record, I know I normally don't ask this, but
he opened his forelegs out.
may I?
With a nod and a smile, Record gave his best friend permission to hug him. After not too long, he wrapped his hooves around the cellist and hugged him back. Breaking the embrace, Octave asked the question that had been growing in his mind from the start of this date.
By the way, what did you bring your bag for?
Oh, that's right. I nearly forgot.
Record's horn lit up, the red glow surrounding the saddlebag before lifting it off of him. He opened it up and levitated out a pair of headphones.
Here, put these on.
He said.
Why?
Octave questioned.
Just put them on. I made you something.
The cellist sighed.
Record, you know my opinions toward techno music.
Dude, trust me.
The DJ gave Octave his characteristic cocky smile, offering the headphones to him.
I promise you'll like it.
Fine.
The gray earth pony groaned, taking the headphones into his hooves and placing them over his ears.
Just don't play it too loud.
Got it. Record nodded as he hooked the cord into a small metal box, a device that Octave has seen him using often that the DJ played his music from. After adjusting the volume and choosing out the right song, the unicorn pressed play. At first, the very first thing that Octave heard was a beat, which quickly followed with an electric pizzicato that echoed in his ears. The melody was unfamiliar for a few seconds, until he recognized what it was.
Is this Bach?
Octave asked. The unicorn nodded silently. Indeed, the cellist recognized what that electronic orchestra was playing through its beats of tonic and dominant. It was J.S. Bach Orchestra Suite No. 2, Minuet and Badinere. Octave had, of course, played the Berke masterpiece before. He knew about the difficult melody of the solo flute, now being played by what sounded like an electrical harpsichord. The sound was hauntingly beautiful, despite its artificial origins. But what amazed him the most about the piece is that Record hadn't changed a single note of it. True, there were the beats, the modern background noise he would hear almost everywhere he went, yet, at the same time, the beats of electronic sounds somehow complemented the genius of Bach. If anything, the piece sounded more alive now than it ever had to Octave. When the music was over, and Record stopped the next track from playing, the unicorn asked, "Well, how was it?" Octave slowly took off the headphones and gave it back to his date.
Record,
He said, looking at him in the eye.
you are wrong on one thing tonight.
What? The DJ asked, taken completely aback.
You, sir, do in fact have a future. If you can make music like that, where you don't chop up the music from what's already perfect, but instead use it to your advantage, then I say you will never be forgotten.
You mean it? Record asked, surprise evident in his wide eyes. Octave nodded with a smile on his face.
I'm rather surprised, actually. You made that for me.
Well, I was gonna give it to you on your birthday, but when this came up, I just, had to finish it, the unicorn said, rubbing the back of his neck.
Why, I must say, Record, I'm rather flattered that you made that for me. Thank you.
Yeah, the DJ nodded. So what you want to do now? You ready to go home? Octave shook his head.
Not quite yet. Why don't we take a little walk first?
Record smiled. Why not?